So another method of getting the volume of a solid of revolution is circular ring or washer method. Okay, so first method was called the circular disc method. Okay, it's a disc because the strip lies on the axis of rotation. Okay, so if that lies in the axis of rotation, then a circular disc is formed. So what if the lower end no of a vertical strip does not touch or does not lie on the axis of rotation? So there's a gap here, between the lower end of the vertical strip and the axis of rotation. So what happens is, okay, so there's no solid figure within that region. So meaning, so it's hollow in that region. So walay solid dinha nga part. So it's hollow no in that region. So gibuslutan bali ang circular disc. So this is now what we call a circular ring, or a washer. All right. So now, the cross section is still a circle, no, but there are two circles already. Okay. So this one, is the outer circle whose radius, no, is, or we can write its radius as r sub o for outer. Okay, in getting no the area of the cross section. Okay, so it's the difference between the area of the outer circle and the area of the inner circle. So we need to get the difference between them, area of the outer circle, and area of the inner circle to again get the area of the cross section no, of a washer or a circular ring, and of course multiplying it with the thickness, dx. So in getting the differential volume, dv, so instead of just writing pi r squared, so again we need to get the difference between the outer and the inner circle areas, multiplying it with the thickness dx. Okay, so we write first the formulas. So the area of the outer circle, is pi r squared, where r is the radius of course, the outer circle. Okay, so let me write the formula here if we are using the variable r. Okay, so pi r sub o squared. And for the inner circle area, so it's pi r sub I squared. Okay. And the radius of the outer circle, no, for a vertical strip, that is this y value here. So meaning, y of the upper curve and the radius, no, of the smaller circle, that is actually, no, the y of the lower curve, to be consistent with what we are using, no, in the length of a vertical strip and solving, no, for the area of um, formed between curves. So we use these letters, no, instead of r, so that we can write, no, the expression for the integral, no, of um, the volume, the differential volume. Okay, so area, or before getting the integral, sorry, Okay, so that's pi times, so that's y upper squared, okay, minus pi radius of the inner circle squared, so meaning pi times y lower squared, okay, dx. So I am factoring out pi since it's common, no, for these two terms. Okay, or pi times y of the upper curve squared minus pi, no, times y of the lower curve squared. So in getting the volume, we integrate. Okay, so volume therefore of the solid figure or the solid or revolution using a circular ring or washer method is pi times, okay, the difference between y squared of the upper curve and y squared of the lower curve dx. And of course, with limits, okay, from x sub 1 to x sub 2. So if we're going to use a horizontal strip, so just replace x with y and y with x. And for a horizontal strip, instead of using upper, no, and lower curves, so we use the terms right and left curves. So it would be pi times, okay, x of the right curve, we square it, and then x of the left curve, we square it, and get the difference. And the thickness, of course, would be dy. Okay, so this is for a horizontal strip, and this is for a vertical strip. All right. So if we're going to connect, no, these washers or circular rings, so we can have these as our examples, no, stick O. Okay, not sponsored by the way. So it's a cylinder, no, pero with a hole na inside. So a circular ring, okay, is now formed, no. So imo nang slice into kuan, smaller parts. So kana also for this pasta noodle, no. So uniform lang hinuon ang radius of the outer circle and also for the inner circle. Okay. We can also have a varying radius. So if dili siya cylinder, no? So curve na siya diri ni. This is already kaning flared na form. It's no longer a cylinder. Okay, so it's just same concept, no? So we have a circular na cross section. Kung matanawon, top view, it's a circle that can have varying, no, na radius kay dili man siya straight yun din ha sa kilid. Okay. So depending hinuon on the construction on making, no, of this is a vase, okay, plant planter, no, or a plant vase or a flower vase kung flower mo ibutang. So pwede straight din ha, no, depending again on the making of the vase. So pwede pod na ni curve pod ang kuan ang nasa sulod. So the radius, okay, of the circle varies. So that's for washer method or circular ring method. So let's have an example. Okay, so what if we have the area bounded by x equals 7, y equals 6, x equals 0, and y equals 0, and it's rotated about y equals 2. So we now have this blue line, y equals 6. Okay, so for horizontal line, there's no x term. So the 6 is the y-intercept. So y equals 6. So the horizontal line passes through the y-axis at y equals 6. Okay, and then x equals 7 is a vertical line which passes to x equals 7. Okay, passes to the x-axis at x equals 7. And of course, the x and the y-axis. So basically, this area here, this entire area, okay, supposedly, but the axis of rotation, okay, is not, sorry. Okay, so correction. Bounded pa man di ay with the green curve, no? So not including this part. Okay, so only this part, sorry. So within the blue, green, yellow, and um the y-axis. So walay labot. See, x equals 0. So the area, or rather, y equals 0. Okay, so sayop ng given. So these three lines only, no, the x equals 7, y equals 6, and the y-axis. Okay, x equals 0. So dito possible if we include the x-axis, no? So kay bounded by mga aning green pod, no? So it should be these three lines only. Okay, so kanira siya diri. Okay, this area here. And then the axis of rotation is y equals 2. So this is the axis of rotation. No? So just put an arrow. Okay, so to indicate na it's the axis of rotation. So this is y equals 2. All right. So your strip must be perpendicular to the axis of rotation. Okay, if you will be using this method, okay, washer or circular ring method. Okay, so if the axis of rotation is horizontal, then the vertical strip must be vertical. Uh, the strip rather is vertical. Okay, so nasa ay di makita ang cursor. Mhm. Okay. Ano, di man siya makita. Ganata. Okay, so kani. So say no this okay, wait ba no? Let's say this vertical strip with of course thickness no dx and the length okay is if we're going to solve for the area it's upper curve minus lower curve no y of the upper curve minus y of the lower curve but since solving for the volume okay so we need to um get the difference between the areas of the outer circle and the inner circle okay so um we can draw no another line here below the x-axis to make sure nga parallel siya from y equals 6 above. Okay, so that we can make a nice solid of revolution. So, copy lang ng nasa taas. So, it's like a mirror image. Okay, ito may pa-rotate, no? So, na, para in drawing the washer. Okay, so same ra. Okay, oh, radius, no? Uniform na radius. Make sure na to uniform na radius. Okay, so 2 units below the x-axis for the second green line. Okay, so in drawing, no, the mirror image of that vertical strip. So, abot ana din hang nga part. So, ina na ang itsura sa vertical strip. Okay, so if we're going to draw the washer, so let's say at this end, the last washer, for example, na we can draw from this. Okay, so medyo tambok ang washer. Sa ato panipson gamay. So let this be the washer for this part. Okay. And let's say, okay, we'll draw another one at the other end. Okay, so bali the upper limit itong sa yellow part. So using lang the same color. Okay, so we have another ay, same color lah. Okay, so another strip here with thickness, okay, DX. Okay na. Although not necessary to draw give this the solid of revolution ha. So enough na nang in what they call this right drawing no just one slice bale. Okay. So just to show lang ninyo no na mo na siya itsura. Okay, so for visualization. Okay, lisod kay imagine din ha no sa solid of revolution. Okay, shade. So that's for the outer circle. Okay, now for the inner circle. So we have the green one, no? So ari siya diri. So di kayo klaro ang green anyway. So we have this hole. Okay, sa sulod. And also here, so same radius. Okay, uniform ra. Okay, it's a horizontal line no ang nag-set bale sa boundary. So if it's not a straight line, no? So man na tong example ganina tong vase. Okay, dili uniform ang radius. Hmm. So this entire solid, no? So I'll use na lang this one. I don't know if ma-imagine ra. Okay. So let's erase ko no this part para medyo maklaro-klaro, no? So again, drawing the solid revolution is not necessary. Okay, so this is for visualization purposes. Okay, so ako to lang tantangan, no? Kaya medyo daghan kayo linya para maklaro unsay hitsura. Okay. So, okay na nang imuhang i-draw is just the representative lang na differential volume. Just one slice lang. Yeah, ikaw na lang diha imagine og unsa din na siya nga figure. Okay, so basically, so we can also try, try lang kayo. Ma-erase ni Nono ni tanan. Okay, try to erase these portions of the line. Okay, from the axis of rotation para mas marag, wala na. So, ibalik para mas ma-emphasize unta. So, lang, di na lang, no? So, bali, it's a cylinder, no, na ay buslot sa tunga. Alright? Okay, so, uh, sabtan na ba? So, if we put siguro some more shading, so mas maklaro. Okay? So, basically, no, it's a cylinder with a hole sa middle with a constant lang na radius because axis of rotation is just I mean the curve also no is kuan lang what they call this mm, uniform ang radius okay of the outer circle. So in getting the volume of this solid of revolution, okay, for a washer method, so it's pi, okay, times the integral of, so this is a vertical strip, so y of the upper curve, okay, squared minus y of the lower curve squared, and then the thickness dx. So we'll determine the limits. Okay, so we have dx, so it should be from 0 to x equals 7. Okay, so 0 to 7. And y of the upper curve, okay, the blue line is y equals 6. So, bale 6 squared, okay, minus y of the lower curve, meaning, okay, the green, no, the axis of rotation is the lower curve. Y of the lower curve is 2. So, constant siya actually. Okay, dx. So, we have pi times the integral of, this is 36 minus 4, so that's 32 dx. Okay, from 0 to 7, and integral of a constant dx is constant times x. Okay, evaluate it from 0 to 7, or we put the 32 here. So it's going to be integral of dx, okay, or x. So it's 32 pi, okay, x evaluating from 0 to 7. So 32 pi times 7 minus, okay, 32 pi times 0. So we have 32 times 7, that's 210 plus 14. So that's 224 pi, okay, minus 0. So that's 224 pi, okay. Don't forget the units. So it's cubic units. Okay, that's the volume of this solid of revolution. Okay, so basically it's two cylinders, no? So let's just double check the volume of the bigger cylinder. Bale is pi r squared h. Okay, so the radius of the bigger cylinder is 6. So basically, kana, no? 36. Times the height, which is 7. And then for the smaller cylinder, so its radius is 2. So you square it. So darara siya, no? Pi, it's pi r squared times the thickness. Okay? Times the thickness, yeah. And then once you integrate it, so mo appear na ang height bale, no? Which is the x here. And specifically for 7. Okay? So that's how you use the washer method or circular ring method.